Hey, you guys. It's literally me. I'm Bunny. Sometimes I buy stuff, sometimes I say stuff, and sometimes I do stuff. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining me today. If you're new, thank you for checking in. As you can see, this is going to be a pretty laid back video today. I have only a little bit of face on. It's been a day. I don't know when you're going to see this, but it is a Saturday morning. I have already gotten up at 6 o'clock and went to have an ultrasound. Not as bad as it sounds. This was just something that my gyno wanted me to go do because I do have the Mirena in and have had it in for a while. And when I had my last female checkup, this is all TMI, she noticed that the strings were no longer visible in there. So she just wanted me to have an ultrasound to make sure that it was still in there and placed right and all that yucky stuff. The lady that did my ultrasound was super, super nice. She was very cool, very into Sephora and fragrances. So we had a good old time. If you want to hear a funny story, I'm assuming most of you watching this are female and have been on a like OB table before. So you know how they have those like stirrups on the end of the table that you put your feet in so that your legs are like, wah. When she was done with my abdomen ultrasound, she was like, okay, undress from the waist down, get up on the table, you know the drill. I'm like, gotcha. So she leaves the room. I get up on the table, I put my one foot in the one stirrup, and then I go to put the other foot in the other stirrup, and it was like, and it fell out of the table. There's me sitting there on the table, you know, naked from the waist down, with just this little like paper towel over me, and I've got one leg up, and then I just have the other leg like... She came in and she was like, oh, I've never had this happen before and didn't know how to fix it. So she was like, can you just put your foot up on the table edge? And I was like, babe, I have done a lot more intense things. So anyway, she was super cool about it, and but that's why I kind of look like I just woke up. I have just some powder on and like a little bit of like, I don't know, ColourPop Super Shock on and some bronzer, but this is going to be really laid back today. This is just going to be kind of more of a hands video of you watching me play with stuff. If you know, I've been on this eyeshadow journey when I recently found out that I was allergic to some carmine ingredient in some eyeshadows. I have been doing experiments of wearing certain types and certain colors. I've actually been documenting this journey, like just for myself. So I take a photo of the look that I did using a palette that does contain carmine, and I'm just experimenting with certain colors, and I'm keeping notes of the ingredients list, how long I wore it, what reactions I have. I have found out that like it's more the deeper colors that like kind of give me the reaction. So I do think it is an amount of carmine that I am triggered by, not just necessarily the ingredient itself. But I do have to be careful just on anything that I'm trying. So moving forward, most of the eyeshadows that I will be looking to purchase are going to be a vegan formula because vegan formulas do not use carmine. Also, in this whole research of makeup and what is in it and what causes... Dude, like it's some scary shit. Like if you have ever like deep dive into what they use in cosmetics and like literally what you're putting on your skin every day, it is insane. It is insane. Like I cannot believe some of these ingredients that I'm reading, and then when I find out what they are, like I'm literally putting that on my face, on some of the thinnest skin that you have on your body. It is crazy. Like I am scared to death to put anything with formaldehyde on my body now. They literally use a derivative of formaldehyde or formaldehyde itself in cosmetics to like give them shelf life. Like I would have never have thought. That shit is like no bueno, dude. Anyway, with that being said, I did purchase a couple single eyeshadow colors from Lethal Cosmetics, although I did order them from Camera Ready Cosmetics. Lethal Cosmetics is a German company, so they are actually stationed in Germany. So when you order from their site, you know, the shipping is a little bit pricier. You do get it very quickly because they use FedEx, but it does take a little bit of time. Camera Ready Cosmetics does carry some of the Lethal Cosmetics line and a ton of other cosmetics lines, and they do free shipping over 25. So I went ahead and bought some Lethal Cosmetics from them. And what we're gonna do is I bought an empty palette, I bought some single eyeshadows, and then I have like all of my other Lethal Cosmetics eyeshadows here. And we're just gonna put together a little Ugly Bunny palette of some of my faves so that I know I can reach for it and not have a reaction. Look, it's just an excuse to play with my little single eyeshadows, okay? Like, let's call it like it is. I'm gonna turn you into hands mode, and we've got like tools and stuff, and we're just gonna like play around. So I will see you there. All right, so I'm hoping that this works out, this view. My microphone is kind of like off to the side, so I'm hoping that you're going to hear most of what I am saying. Not that it really matters, but like I said, this is going to be a very low-key video. I've got my drink, I've got some makeup stuff, I've got some tools, so let's go ahead. And I think first what we're gonna do is unwrap the things that I bought from Camera Ready Cosmetics, because I did buy the empty palette that is going to be the Ugly Bunny palette. Plus I got the single eyeshadows, but you know, this is a 9-pan, so we're gonna have to go into my other collection and get some more. But first, let's go ahead and open the actual palette. This is a genuine Lethal Cosmetics palette. It is actually called the Orbital palette. It's made out of like some thick cardboard, and it is a 9-pan palette. You do get a mirror, but I'm not trying to blind you. It does have like a really cute saying though in the mirror. It says, "Today is a good day to make memories." They usually do that. I actually wanted a 12-pan, but then not really, you know what I mean? Like, I actually love the square size of a 9-pan. I just like 9-pans that have enough colors in it to do a full look. They're nice and small. You can take them with you. It's not like pulling this big 35 shade thing out of your drawer and then putting it on your vanity and being like, oh, which one do I start with? That's why I went with the 9-pan. You know what I want to do with this is I wanna stick my face on it to make it an official Ugly Bunny palette. So hold on, let me do that real quick. There we go. Official Ugly Bunny palette with the 9-pan. Super cute. I mean, I think that that came out pretty nifty. And then we will go ahead and open the 3 shades that I purchased from Lethal. Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, it's been a day so far, so. Okay, right. All right, so we all know if we watch my other videos that I'm allergic to the carmine used in deep reds. So I found this color on their website. I believe it is called, it's called Frantic. Frantic is a magnetic pressed eyeshadow. It is described as an ox blood with a matte finish. This is a super pretty color. Very excited to have this since my eyes can't take this type of color when other companies do it. Very cute when you open up the package. It does say this is the beginning of something great. Let me take my little tool here and take it out. If you don't know, Lethal Cosmetics does all of their eyeshadows in a magnetic pan, and they actually show the name of the shadow on the back. So that's how we're gonna go with this today. I have my little magnetic tool, plus I have the genuine Lethal Cosmetics palette tool, which is a little sharp end to move shadows around, and also a flat end so that I can help move shadows inside of another palette. So I do have this one. Just gonna go ahead and stick that in there like that. And let's go ahead and open up the next color. This one is called Torment. Yep, that's definitely a me name. Torment is a magnetic pressed eyeshadow. It is described as a pumpkin orange with a matte finish. I love Lethal Cosmetics mattes. Like, they are just super, super great. We're just gonna go ahead and stick that into the palette. Already, look at this. This is such an Ugly Bunny palette, yes. And then let's open the last one that I bought new. This is a gold color. I got the gold color because I fell in love with that gold in the Oh Honey 2 palette, and I was like, God, I really just want a clean gold that is definitely not gonna fuck with my face. This one is called Equinox. Equinox is a magnetic pressed eyeshadow that is described as a gold with a metallic finish. I do love Lethal's metallic lines as versus like shimmers and glitters from other companies. Lethal's metallics are really, really smooth on the skin. So I do like that they don't emphasize any texture, but you can still kind of get that sparkle as if you were using a shimmer. I'm gonna stick this baby like right in the middle right there. I like how that looks right now. Let's go ahead and open some of the other. We're just gonna kind of set this one over here for now. And then this is my huge Lethal Cosmetics. I can't even remember what this palette is called, but it has a mirror on this side, but it has the see-through window here and it opens up and it has all this room for eyeshadows. I actually do have a couple of Lethal Cosmetics pre-made palettes, which means, you know, I bought them in a palette. There's a color story that goes with that palette, but these are all the singles. And then I have some in this little Makeup Forever thing, but these are all the singles that I purchased like by themselves. And as you can tell, I'm a pretty neutral bitch. So we are going to be making a semi-neutral palette with this. So please forgive. But I mean, really, it's my palette, not yours. So I can put whatever the hell I want in there. So when I pre-thought about this, I definitely wanted a rose gold shimmer, which brings me to this shade. I believe this shade is called Acolyte. Yes, Acolyte. This is another Lethal Cosmetics metallic, and it is described as a rose gold with a metallic finish. So we are going to put Acolyte into this palette, and I'm actually going to put it in the very first slot because I love me a rose gold metallic. Like, oh my gosh, and they are gorgeous, like so gorgeous. All right, now we're just gonna move into some pretty boring mattes, neutrals. Like I need these as like the base. Like I like to wear like a little bit of a metallic finish, like on the middle of the lid or the inner corner, but I really do like just a matte eye. And I will wear a totally matte look very often. So I do need to put in some colors that I can use as like a matte base. Unfortunately, there's so many in here that I like. I don't know how I'm going to pare it down. Really, as like a base light shade for like the crease and stuff, these, oh man, I don't know. Like, let me get camera out of there. If we go here, if you look at these four right here, these are like my favorite neutral base colors. And I need to only pick one because we don't need this palette being like really, really crazy. We want to have some variety, but these are my favorites. This one right here is Ephemeral, and this is just a basic cream with a matte finish. This one right here is Midway. Oh, I love Midway. Midway is described as a beige with a neutral undertone and matte finish. Oh, this is a good one. This one right here is called Unearthed. It is described as a beige with gray undertones and a matte finish. Another one that I really, really do like. It does lean on the cooler side compared to these two, and I do feel like this is like a warm tone palette, so I don't know, but I really do like that one. This one, I can't remember what this one is called, and also the reason I probably can't remember is because the sticker is off of it, but oh, I love this one too. This is a really nice blending out shade. And then just an honorable mention, this one right here is called Calcination, described as a cool tone beige with pink undertones and a matte finish. And then this one right here is called Pilgrim. Pilgrim is described as an ivory with pink undertones and a matte finish. So, which one are we going to put in my palette? I would say if I'm going for a base and a crease shade, I think this one is just going to be like a little bit too dark for that and a little bit too cool tones. We're going to move that out there. So then we're down to these three. Oh man. You know, I really do think that I'm going to have to go with Midway. Midway is one of my most favorite neutrals for blending the crease and just a base shade overall. We're going to go ahead and stick that one right in there. Now, the other thing that I thought about when I wanted to make this palette was I definitely want to put in a white. I love Lethal Cosmetics white, and I always love using a white for an inner corner, especially if I'm doing like an all matte look. So I do have this little Makeup Forever palette that I had put together with some Lethal Cosmetics in there. This has the two multi-chromes that I bought from Lethal Cosmetics a long time ago, and I just made like my own little palette with their black and their white so that I could use them in these. And actually one of these multi-chromes is going in my palette because I love it so much. We are going to take out the white right now. Lethal Cosmetics white is called Frequency. It is a stark pure white, matte white, and it is so gorgeous. I love the way it blends. It has great opacity, great coverage for it being a white. So this baby is definitely going in the Ugly Bunny palette. Moving on from white, this is one that I had to struggle with. So you did see in this one, I do have a Lethal Cosmetics black, which I do love, don't get me wrong. But when I was thinking about putting this palette together, I wanted something that was like a deeper tone for my outer corner or just deepening out my crease. And when I was thinking about this color scheme, I was like, you know what? I don't know if black is the way to go. But what I do have is this shade right here. And this shade is actually called Nocturnal. Nocturnal is described as a charred wood with a matte finish. And I love this color. This color is so rich and it's deep and it really does give the effect of a black, but with a warmer tone. So when I was thinking about this palette and this story, I was thinking maybe I want to go for the Nocturnal color because it's such a deep brown. So I will get the depth that I'm looking for, but I will also stay within that warm family, and it's not going to kind of take away from the other colors, which sometimes black can do depending on how it's applied. So I think we're gonna go ahead and put, let's put them over here. I'm gonna put Nocturnal in there. Okay, moving on. Now, I do want to have a pink in here because, again, the whole point of this was for me to be able to have access to deep browns, reds, and pinks in a little neutral palette that aren't going to affect my eyes. So I am going to choose this color right here. This I actually received in my Lethal Cosmetics mystery box like so many years ago. Actually, not so many years ago, so many months ago. And this shade is called Remnant. I don't really like the description for this, but the color description for this is salmon with a matte finish. And if salmon is what I gotta go with, we're gonna go with that. But we are gonna stick this into the Ugly Bunny palette just to give me a pink option if I wanna use this pink with this rose gold to get like a really nice pink look. So we're gonna put that one in there. And then the final, here, I'm gonna go ahead and close this up because we are gonna put the final color into my palette, and it is going to be a multi-chrome. Lethal Cosmetics multi-chromes are freaking amazing. I actually only own 2 of them because they're $17 a piece. I really do need to order some more, but the 2 that I have, I love so much. When I went to Lost Lands on the very first day, I did wear this Singularity shade all over my eyes, and I put like some jewels and like kind of fish scales around my lids, and this was super gorgeous. Singularity is described as a multi-chrome with sparkly metallic finish that shifts from lavender to blue to turquoise to gold, and man, it is just so gorgeous on the eyes. Unfortunately, with my palette, this is just not going in that story, so we are going to put this one back. Actually, you know what? I'm going to, now that I have this one all parsed out, I think I'm gonna actually stick this one back in here, and when I have some time, I'll just go through this thing and clean it up, and then look, maybe I'll have some room for some other eyeshadows. Let's go ahead and take the black out of this one too and free up this little Makeup Forever compact, and then we'll put this one away. But that leaves us with Magnitude. This is Magnitude. This is my very favorite multi-chrome that I've ever owned, ever. This is described as a metallic finish that shifts from red to pink to gold, lime green to emerald green. This is the most gorgeous shadow ever, guys. I love this one so much. On New Year's Eve, when we went out to see Sullivan King, I only had this on my eyes. I just caked it on and then put a black eyeliner on, and this was freaking stunning. You get so many colors, so many shifts with this. I love this multi-chrome. I don't wear multi-chromes and like really extravagant shimmers a lot, but I like to have one as a go-to just in case. So we are going to place Magnitude in the final corner of this palette. And there we go. This is my own little Ugly Bunny palette. So if we just want to recap, the colors moving from left to right are Acolyte, Midway, Frequency, Kindlewood, Equinox, Remnant, Magnitude, Frantic, and Torment. That is going to be my little Neutral Bitch Ugly Bunny palette. I am really excited to use this. Let me flip you guys back around and we will say goodbye to each other. Hey, nice to see you right side up again. So there is my little Ugly Bunny palette. I hope you guys enjoyed like playing with the makeup and stuff with me today. It was like kind of relaxing or whatever. Thank you Lethal Cosmetics for not actually making this, but giving me the opportunity to get a vegan formula in some colors that I love. You know I love you guys. Let's take one last look at my little color story here. I think it came out very, very gorgeous. So I have all of the options that I need here. I can still dig into these oxbloods and oranges, still have my pinks. I've got my neutrals over here with my little splash of gold, and of course the white for my inner corner, which I need and love. That's all I have for you today, guys. If you could please like this video, it really does help me out. If you could comment below on if you liked any of these shades or if you've ever tried Lethal Cosmetics or you want to try them, I will comment back and tell you why you should try them. And also, if you could subscribe, guys, I am so grateful for all of your support, everything that everybody has done for me. I'm a little less than a year old channel. I've already surpassed my watch time hours and I'm less than 150 subscribers away from 1,000. So I couldn't be more grateful. And thank you for liking me for who I am. So please subscribe and stay tuned. I love you so much. You guys are the awesomest. I will see you on the next one.